Birmingham Oddities started out initially as a workshop studio for a couple of artist friends and I. And we had a space where we were kind of just working and playing. It might have been just a glorified man cave. And we ended up having this space where the store is, and then the workspace that's back in the back behind the store, we use that for building all sorts of projects. And I and a couple of friends of mine are Oddities collectors. And so we just kind of decided that it would be cool to have a space where we hosted our collections and offered them for sale. We really expected it to be a little bit more of a mini museum, but very quickly people were excited about buying the items. And so the store became more of a every weekend thing, and it stayed open and people bought stuff. So it really wasn't initially intended to be a store, but it came to be a store.
Kids will come in and their eyes will get like this big at like all the super cool stuff that's, that they're finding, and they'll have a million questions. Their parents will be like, "Don't touch anything." And Adam will be like, "It's okay. Just treat it like a museum." It's almost like going to the McCoyne Center.
The minute he mentioned the name Birmingham Oddity, my ears perked up because,
why hadn't I been there before, right?
We're some Birmingham Oddities, right? So we belong here.
My husband and I are kind of regulars. We saw a blurb about it, I think in the community, one of the community newspapers, that it was opening, and it looked like it was right up our alley. And we came and we liked what we saw. Okay, you can order skulls off the internet, but it's great walking into a place and seeing actual, it's a skull, that's so cool.
I personally make art pieces that are made with skulls, for instance. And there's not really a local market that kind of accommodates that sort of thing. And so we realized that we'd really gotten into a niche of art that really had not been touched on before in Birmingham. And so we started inviting other artists to bring in their things into the store. Very quickly, we became engrossed in the arts because that's kind of where we were founded. And ultimately, we began consigning the items for artists. We find that a lot of these guys end up having to go to these local art shows, and the way to do it is packing up all of their stuff, taking it across town, unpacking it, setting it up in a tent, and then selling it for 4 hours, and then packing it all up. And so it's very monotonous and kind of unfortunate for them. And so ultimately, we just started carrying some of their items in the store. And so we gave them a permanent home such that they could actually just leave some stuff here and then come back and pick up a check occasionally.
Being able to leave my earrings and pixie houses and things in the shop has been wonderful, because carrying them from art show to art show is kind of a pain in the butt. Having like one stable place that I know I can leave them, I know that they're safe, I know that it's a good market for them, is wonderful.
It's brought out a little bit more of a confidence in my art, and knowing there are people out there that want to see it, and giving me kind of almost like a safe place to come and create and bounce ideas off of like Adam and everyone else up here. It's something that I never really had before. It was more, I made stuff at home and then I took it places, and here I can bring stuff here, I can create here.
Having the studio space here is fantastic. I've got access to pretty much any tool I can think of whenever I need it. So, for example, drilling holes in a tiny turtle shell, got the tool to do that. Drilling 7 holes in a seashell before it works, got the tools to do that.
We bring artists in very frequently, and they get to use the space and see what other people's skills are like, and then they can begin applying that to some of their art, which is really neat, watching artists grow into different directions.
It's definitely a place for creativity to live in all kinds of different forms.
It's bringing everyone out of the woodworks together and kind of forming like a group.
I've been blown away because we've become a household name for supporting the arts.
Based on the stuff that's here, not everybody's interested in it. But for the people that are, it's really important to know the people that are too. And then that makes everything grow.
This is some homegrown awesome here.
Definitely.